What letter are we learning about? ¿Cuál letra es esa?
A. And how does the H sound like? What starts with the letter H?
A house.
A house. House. What else? A heart. A hot air balloon. Ha ha ha. A hand. Hat. And what else? What is that?
And the honey.
And honey. Good job. What are types of houses? Can you tell me what are different types of houses? There's a skyscraper. Can you say skyscraper?
Skyscraper.
They're tall. There's apartment building. Who lives in an apartment building?
Me.
You live in an apartment building? There is a house. Who lives in a house?
Me.
I live in a house. There is a cabin.
Me.
Cabin? You live in a cabin? There is a houseboat. It's a boat and it's a house and it's in the water. And there's a motorhome, which is a traveling bus where you could sleep in, right? What else do you know about houses? ¿Qué sabes de las casas? También son hechas en? Can you say straws? So we're gonna read a book, okay? It's called How a House is Built. How a house is built. Many people live in houses. There are many kinds of houses. Log cabin, stone house, outhouse, cider block house. They are built with different materials. Brick house, a glass house, a frame house. Houses are built in many shapes and sizes. This is how a wood frame house is built. First, an architect draws plans. So she's an architect. So she has to draw a plan to make houses. The architects consults with an engineer who will be in charge of designing the frame and foundation of the house. The architects then recommend a general constructor who will be in charge of building the house. So they hire people to build the house. So they have to talk about the house. They have to talk about the map, the plan that they did to build the house. During the months ahead, the general contractor will hire all these people to complete the project. The general contractor makes sure everything is done according to schedule. Then you have people who have to measure, right? They have to measure the land and measure how big and small it is. At the construction site, the surveyor measures for the foundation while another worker helps wooden stakes marks. And then they start building, right? With, guess, what is this? A tractor. They have heavy equipment operators coming rumbling up the road. They dig a hole where the foundation will go. The foundation will support the weight of the house. Next, the foundation builders arrive. They dig around the edges, then they line the trench with boards to make a form. Trucks move into place and pour concrete. Do you know what concrete is? What is concrete? ¿Saben qué cemento? Es lo que ponen afuera, lo que está afuera y yeah. When the concrete is hard and it turns hard and it turns into a sidewalk like that, or it could be made for the house. When the concrete is hard, the boards are removed. This is the footing for the foundation. The footing will give the house a frame base. then the foundation builder will build forms on footing for the foundation walls. The concrete truck comes and goes to fill the forms. The concrete floor, the base of the basement is poured and smoothed over. They're making floors for the house. And then the forms are removed when the concrete is hard. And then they create a membrane or liner, and they make walls. Ellos hacen paredes. ¿Sí ven? Están haciendo las paredes de la casa. And then they dig holes, and then a pipe goes from the basement so it could drain all the waste, anything that has to come and go from the toilet, from the sink. And then here comes the carpenter crew. Out come their tools. They tighten down boards for the steel plate to the top of the anchor on the foundation. Then they hammer heavy boards called jolts into place. So now they're making the subfloor, the deck, right? Están haciendo otro piso. The carpenters nail or screw down sheets of plywood to the joints, making what is called subfloor or deck. It is the floor of the house. And now they begin to frame the house. They study the architect's plan. They saw pieces of wood to their correct size. They nailed together in an outside wall of the house. The carpenter crew pushes the wall up and nails it into place. Then they nail stripes along the outside that connect with the room boards and foundation wall to protect against the hurricanes and earthquakes. So now they're making como protección para que no se dañe la casa muy fácil. Yes, Maria? What happened? Another wall goes up and another. Finally, all the walls are in place. Now the carpenter frame in the roof are nailed to the ridge board. Soon the framing of the house will be complete. They began to enclose the house by nailing sheets of plywood to the outside of the frame. This is called shedding. Then they saw out the space for the windows and doors. House wrap is nailed to the outside of the plywood to keep moisture. On the roof, a carpenter is busy nailing down skids, shines. Other carpenters nails clipboard siding to the sides of the house. Day after day, the work continues. The mason is almost finished building the chimney. Windows and doors are insulated. Inside the house, interior walls are nailed into place. And electricity runs wire through the walls to the outside and switches. The plumber installs the pipes that bring water and carry waste from the drain. And then they start making everything from the house. So now they're doing, next they finish the floors, they nail down the windows, and then the doors are trimmed. And then the painter, they start painting the house, and then they start putting cabinets, and then they start putting bathtubs, toilets, and sinks. At the outside, the landscapers notice that the grass they planted is beginning to grow. They dig for a hole for one more bush. So then they start growing the grass outside, and then the house is all done, and then the family can move in after months, and then they could buy it. That's a long book.